Okay, I think we're live. Hello, and welcome to the very first Poka Reads book club discussion of 2026, which of course makes it inherently a very special one because it's the first. As you guys may know, Poka Reads is an initiative by Poka Health, which is a period tracker and a women's health app that's rooted in African culture and designed to reflect the lived reproductive health experiences of African women. If you don't already have the app, you can check it out by downloading it from your app store on Android or on iOS. This month, we've been reading Before I Let Go by the US bestselling author, Kennedy Ryan. And it's a deeply emotional story about love, loss, and healing. So, Elise, who's here with us, one of Poka co-founders, Before I Let Go is your Poka Reads pick of the month. So please tell us why this book and why this month before we dive into the discussion.
All right. As you know, we try to always center African women, African American women. And this is Black History Month. So we decided, why not dive into an author that's African American? And we all love a good Kennedy Ryan book. So we thought, why not? Well, I do. I feel like hopefully this book has convinced you all. I think that Naja also likes her, but let's see. Let's see what everybody thought. But yeah, that's our reason for choosing Before I Let Go for this month.
Perfect. All right. So I have like 1,001 windows open, but I wanted to kick us off by, I guess, asking us a small icebreaker. So after reading the book, what would you say Before I Let Go, if it had a soundtrack, if it had a song playing in the back the entire time you were reading it, what would the song be?
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Some R&B, I think. Probably like some soft R&B. All the songs in my head are luxury, so that's not going to help anybody.
What? No.
Fire in my head. No? Okay, cool. So yeah, I think some R&B.
Especially
I
when
don't know.
like, you know.
He does give me that smooth radio voice vibe.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of a good R&B song. I don't know.
They don't even make R&B like they used to anymore. I don't think.
We're starting to sound like those aunties when we were small, you know?
Our time was the best.
Our time was always, right? Towards the end of the book, or maybe even the middle of the book, I'd say like, and this song haunts me, you guys know this, but I'll Make Love to You by
Boyz II Men.
I was thinking The Lonely Island. I just had sex.
I just
really? Yeah, I'll Make Love to You, Boyz II Men. Yours was what? I Just Want Sex.
I just had sex.
It's a ridiculous song.
Who sang that?
The Lonely Island.
The Lonely Island. Tipora, do you mean the Baby Tonight? Oh, no, that's not the one yet.
No, that's
by love to you like you. Is that? Isn't that it?
Yeah, that's the one. I hate that
song. That one.
That makes me think of Pitch Perfect.
Yeah.
The other one is by John Legend. That might apply too.
Which one is the John Legend one?
No,
that's not John Legend. That's is that not Robin Thicke?
No.
Best You Ever Had. Oh, you're right. That is John Legend.
Yeah.
The best you ever had. Okay, John Legend is he still makes R&B.
That also applies.
Supposed to be.
Yeah.
Oh, funny story that you mentioned John Legend. Actually, I think he's part of the group that is making this book into a movie.
Oh, nice.
I didn't
think so. He's involved in that.
Me too. I didn't know that.
That they're making into a movie, and John Legend is involved somehow.
Oh, interesting.
So for sure, his songs will be on there.
100%.
I couldn't really picture Yasmin's face, so I wonder who plays her.
Me,
feel like
I don't think they've cast anybody yet. I couldn't
okay.
picture her face either. Josiah, I
Really?
can see him. Maybe Aaron Pierre could be a good Josiah.
There was a lot of description around Josiah.
And
I feel like I could really see
No?
Josiah, like
Yes.
how
Aaron's
sexy he
eyes
was
are
anyways.
light. I don't see that for Josiah.
Also, I feel like
Josiah
Josiah should
Josiah's
not
eyes
be
are
like,
darker.
Josiah's dark-skinned. Yeah.
yeah,
He's
dark
So what,
skin.
Idris Elba?
Yeah, yeah.
Idris is
Oh,
younger.
God.
Like, unless
Tiana
it's
Idris is
Taylor.
older. Josiah is older.
Is that her name? Tiana Taylor? Tiana Taylor can be a good
No, she's not curvy enough. I feel like
Really?
bigger
Oh yeah,
breasts,
Yasmin
bigger
gives
breasts,
curves for sure.
curvier. Maybe
Isn't
Taraji or
Tiana
something.
curvy?
Taraji
What
could
am
be
I
a
thinking? Okay, she's
She
quite big.
looks scary to me.
Not Tiana Taylor.
know what y'all
Yes.
talking about.
I saw
Yeah,
a photo of
it
her at the
I think because
Baptist
she's
just this week,
fit.
and she
Yes.
looks okay. She's not slim, you're right, but like
Slim,
curvy.
yeah.
I'm thinking of Jill
Jill
Scott.
Scott? Oh.
Oh, okay. I
Okay,
see what you
like
mean.
I didn't imagine her to be Jill Scottish. I thought she may be Tiana, not Tiana Taylor, but what's the other actress's name?
Taraji Henson.
Taraji, like that kind of. She's
Right.
also thick,
Okay.
but like,
Right.
yeah.
Charge, yeah.
Kevin
I
to
can
me
see
just
Charge
means you
do
have big boobs and a big butt.
that.
You could be skinny but curvy.
What Yasmin did,
I guess.
It'd be interesting to see. Anyways, okay, great. So, Elise, please launch us into a hopefully lively discussion on plot,
Yeah,
characters, themes,
Well,
writing, all of it.
before we even start that, what's everyone's impression of the book? What did you think about the book? Give me your thoughts about before I let go.
Do you want to go first?
I can go.
I've read it many years ago. Okay, at least you go first.
This is my second time reading it, but it's one of those books where there are parts of the book where if I want to fall asleep, I want something familiar, I will go back and reread this and a few other books. But yeah, I like this book. Well, it's a trilogy, and I like the trilogy. I feel like this one is a little on the sad side, and I'm generally not I don't want to read sad things. Like I want to be, life is sad enough. I want happy things. So I did find, especially the first time I read it, I did find the sad themes and all of that a little hard, but that's life, right? These things happen, and so it's good to talk about them. I feel like there's not so much beyond the news. People are not talking about the things that are going on. So I'm glad that she talks about those difficult themes as well. And I think Kennedy does a good job at that, writing a happily ever after, using and still putting in the themes of real life, the difficult themes in life. So yeah, I enjoyed this book. Enjoy this book. All right. Anybody else?
Yeah, so okay, go for it, Jessie.
This is my first Kennedy Ryan book. So is this her debut? Is it her debut novel?
Oh, not at all.
Oh.
This
He's an author, best-selling.
Traditionally published book. She used to self-publish before she was picked up. So this was like her first time getting traditionally published.
Okay. Yeah, so this is my first Kennedy Ryan book. I think generally for me, it gave what it was supposed to give. I went in knowing it's a romance book and it's a happily ever after. We can get into the themes much later, but I kept thinking, I think because of the writing and because of the setting, I was just thinking of Real Housewives of Atlanta, which I love very, very much.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I was thinking of Candy Boris, who has a restaurant, several restaurants actually with her husband, soon to be ex-husband.
Right.
This
and I think there was a Real Housewives reference. One of the characters was
Hendrix is, yeah, she
PR for Real Housewives.
Is she a fan?
I would like to read her story.
Oh, you should.
Her story
Oh,
is
she
out.
has a storyline?
Yes.
She has all three of them have stories.
All three
out
of the
now.
girls.
Oh, I had no idea.
I think I'd prefer her story to I think that I'd like that one.
Yeah.
I think
it was giving me Real Housewives of Atlanta,
yes,
Candy and Todd.
Yeah, Hendrix's story is very
Yeah.
You like that one.
Like
Is it a
It
love,
feels
as a
more
is it a
relatable
love
founder,
story?
as a founder, yeah, as a
I
black
think
yeah,
all
founder.
of them are love stories.
Oh,
yeah,
so
she's a romance
Hendrix
writer.
finds love. I want that for her. Anyways, let's get into that later. But yeah.
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 All
Okay.
right. Anybody else? What were your
Yeah, so I like Kennedy Ryan. I mean, for the longest time, for like the last 3 years or so, I've been saying that she's an automatic buy for me. If Kennedy writes it, I'll read it. I don't even have to think twice because she's also the kind of writer that I'm confident that I'm in safe hands with her. She'll take you through a roller coaster, in and out, but you know that at the end of the day, there's joy at the end. And like you will the stories always feel like there's more to them than just girl meets boy, fall in love, happy ever after. There's real nuance, there's discussions of big topics, which I enjoy in any book. So for me, Kennedy Ryan is an automatic buy, automatic read. So I went in knowing that when I read the first time, and I read a few more times since then. And yeah, there's probably no Kennedy Ryan book I haven't read. I don't think I've gone back to when she used to write white characters.
Love that.
and like she had one book where I think she wrote about Native Americans and
Yes.
I loved that. Like
Not Queen Move. That's a book
that
too. But yeah,
series. It was the Queen Move
that
series.
series. That was actually
Yeah.
the first one I read of hers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned a lot about Native American women and their what they go through with like rape and all the abuse they suffer at the hands of Americans through Kennedy Ryan,
Yep.
actually.
Yep.
Wow. That's great. Yeah, this as similar to Jessie, this is my first Kennedy Ryan. I kept wanting to call her Ryan Kennedy, but I need to be corrected. Kennedy Ryan book. When I first started reading it, I was a little bit maybe skeptical because I felt like, okay, well, I can't really relate to this book. It's about a couple that live in suburbia, they have kids, they're getting divorced. I'm like, nothing about the way they live their lives or who they are has anything to do with me
To do
personally.
with
Like,
you,
I'm just
right?
like, am I interested in their story? Do I care? You know what I mean? Because it felt very disconnected from my personal experience. But obviously I read it and I thought it was, a very good book, well written, and she drew me into their lives. And even though it was a story about, a divorced couple and, in America, I think there were parts of it part of the experience that I think that still spoke to me and my personal experiences, and I could still find value in what they were going through. And so I was pleasantly surprised by the book. And yeah, it kept my attention. And, you know, there were a lot of like steamy scenes.
Yeah.
We love some steam. We love some
I don't know how
steam.
I feel about because I'm like, should I put this down? Do I need some water? What do I need?
Were you scandalized, Tipora? Tell me
A
more.
shower. She was
Do I need a
clutching
hot
herself.
shower? I mean, cold shower? What's happening here? Who's this couple? But yeah.
I think that's
Okay,
probably my
so
my only thing with Kennedy Ryan. She leans too much into it. Like, yeah, okay, we get it. They had sex. Okay. Like, it's
lean
okay.
in.
She will lean
Lean
in.
Every detail.
The other day
And
I
that's
was
why that's like my comms with book 3. That's Hendrik's book.
Oh no.
Everywhere, every corner,
really, I
I
thought
don't
this was
like that.
more
I
okay.
don't
Maybe
like
I
that
don't
at
reread
all.
Hendrix's one as often, but I feel like
as often.
this one felt more like it had more than Hendrix's one to
I feel like
me.
this one was just twice, right? In this book before I let go, just like
Many
twice,
times.
maybe.
I
Really?
mean,
No,
Times, several times.
it
Like
was
I
more than
Really?
started
twice.
skipping because why? Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
car,
That
on
was
the
just twice.
stage,
Okay.
in the
Then maybe it
cellar.
was a
In
lot.
the school, in the
And
In
kids'
even
school.
before
What?
then, before they actually had sex, a reference to sex, Josiah's, but I'm like, I get it. He's attracted to his ex. Fine, can we move on?
Yeah.
Don't be a hater. Someone loves her husband.
I was just the other day talking about how people, it's the way that people feel about romance books and like romance scenes in books, and how people are okay with all the violence in books or all the violence in movies, but the
Oh,
minute it
stop.
becomes romance,
Like, oh, let's
clutching
move on.
pearls.
I think I
Mhm.
too, I don't like violence too much. Like if you're over explaining and all of the gore, I don't particularly enjoy.
Mhm.
I think it's a patriarchy and misogyny. As someone who doesn't particularly like romance as a woman, I feel like I can get away with it. But when men say they don't like romance, it's just the patriarchy. Because why do you not like romance?
They need to
Why do
learn
you
a thing or
belittle
two.
it? You know, romance novels, reality TV.
Yeah.
You just
I
hate
mean,
women.
They hate
Going
us.
on. So we know that Josiah and Yasmin are a previously married couple who are parenting together, own a business, a thriving business together. Quick question. Is there anybody here that has an ex that they can co-parent with or build a business with or think that they would have been able to build
Build a business with is what I'm trying to do.
I think that they were doing a yeoman's job because, but I guess that the foundation of having been together, what,
Yeah.
7, 8 years before? Was it 10? I can't
Yeah,
over
remember
a
how many
decade.
years.
She said
I
over a
think since
decade.
uni.
Yeah,
And they had a 13-year-old.
exactly.
Yeah.
So if I feel like that makes it possible because I cannot imagine building a business with an ex. I feel like it'll be hard. But anyway,
No,
that was
obviously,
just
you will start a
They
business
had
while
the,
you're still happily married.
yeah, they had the foundation of
Yeah.
friendship.
And
yeah.
also, if the person is a decent person, it's not that
Yeah.
hard.
And I think
It's when you hate the person that it's sad. But if
Of
it's
course,
someone
yeah.
who is a decent,
But what if you're
breakup wasn't acrimonious, like it's fine. It'll
well,
be fine.
this breakup
Why are you
seemed
breaking
acrimonious.
up?
It was acrimonious on
I mean,
one
there's a
side.
reason, but
if they're
it's
so
not because of
decent,
something
why are you
they
broken
did.
up?
Okay,
I do
let's
think
go.
the reason for the breakup matters. You're
It's
right.
getting too close to home.
I think it worked for them because they had that solid friendship and they genuinely liked each other. And
Yeah.
you can see as the story progresses that they never lost respect for each other. They even still never lost love for each other. It was really circumstantial what happened and what broke them up. So,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
yeah, that's quite the feat.
It is the
Mhm.
feat. Anyway, I don't know anybody that's managing that, but
Co-parenting, you have no choice. You have to.
Yeah, you have to
but
keep
not
the
many
kids
people
alive.
do it well. I
Be
don't know that I've
successful.
seen people do it very well. Like
I
the
don't think
kids are
Josiah did it
always
well, but we can get into that a little bit later.
all right.
Josiah's first shot.
I
Do
know,
we need
right?
to get drinks? Every time Jessie hates on Josiah, we just chug.
So
We already
then
have
let's
two.
dive right into the themes. Any themes that you want to explore? What stood out the most to you? What are the themes that stood out the most to you?
The
I think
child
we could
loss.
start with the co-parenting. What is it? What will that fall under?
Yeah, co-parenting as a theme.
Sure. And then parents generally needing to be on the same page with their kids. There were, especially in the beginning, I think the first 20%, their 13-year-old daughter passed a comment and Josiah said nothing about her mother. And I was a little bit upset. And later on, she said something again, something really, really bad. And the way he reacted is not the way I would want my co-parent to react when our child says something
There's
insulting
something.
about one of the parents, because like she said later on, she becomes a bad parent and you are the good parent. You should not make it a thing where kids are venting to you about the other parents, about things so vile, and blaming them for the breakup of your family. And you can vent about how difficult one parent is to another, but disrespect, a parent should never allow that to happen. And I feel like Josiah allowed Deja to do that to Yasmin several times, and that was not cool. Didn't like that at all.
I agree. I do think that in the beginning he didn't realize how bad Deja was acting towards her mother. He thought it was just teenage angst or whatever, which I hate it. Okay. I hate it when people do that. Like teenagers are amazing. People need to stop giving them such a bad rep.
I think
But
so.
And it's
I do
almost like you want to feed into that as a teenager. If we keep saying
Yes.
exactly. Yes. So let me do that so that what
Yeah.
you're saying is
Exactly.
true
So I'm a real
and blame it
teenager.
on teenage raging hormones.
exactly. But yeah, I do agree that he should have noticed earlier. I did notice that later on he started being more particular about telling her you can't say that about your mom, blah blah blah. But he should have noticed it earlier. I feel like it was just he was just oblivious for too long. Yeah.
Yeah, but I also feel like we can't sort of brush aside the fact that Yasmin did fall apart in the most sort of in the deepest way possible, you know what I mean? And her daughter had to witness that. And as someone who's young and doesn't really understand sort of the nuances of depression, even doesn't appreciate what the impact loss can even have on both parents, especially the loss of a child.
Mm.
And just from her perspective, seeing her mother kind of wallowing in that space, who she admittedly says she wallowed in that space a little bit longer than she would have liked or should have. And nobody can sort of hurry their grief or hurry their healing, but she understands that she maybe was in that darkness for too long and it impacted their family. And in that space, she asked for a divorce and broke up the family. And so, given if from sort of Deja's perspective, the mother was the villain. And she was just saying what nobody else or perhaps wanted to say. The young boy is a boy, mother-son relationships, we know how those tend to be. And there's always tension between mother and daughters anyways, right? Especially as they're growing up and in the teenage years. So I think Josiah didn't want to say anything or maybe gave her grace, perhaps too much grace, but it was kind of from a place of understanding to say, you know, it's okay perhaps to be angry at your mother because pretending she didn't do anything or pretending you have these, you know, neutral feelings or even good positive feelings towards her isn't realistic. So I think perhaps he allowed that to happen until maybe he actually even agreed. You know what I mean? Like in some ways felt the same way, but couldn't really. And so like when she's taking jabs, he's almost just like, you know, maybe agrees in some way. But as he makes up, yeah, reconciles with his wife, he's like, okay, now you're taking it too far. Like, you know, be nicer to your mother, that kind of vibe. But I understand him. I don't think that makes him a bad co-parent, Jessie, and that's where I'll challenge you on that.
He's not a bad, I mean, bad is he's not a bad co-parent, but he definitely made bad decisions. And it's not Deja's fault. I'm not blaming her. Kids make mistakes. It's your fault as a parent to bitch slap her when she insults her mother.
Ma'am, no violence, please.
The audacity this girl has
The
to
audacity
say
indeed,
something
though.
so vile about her mother. Like she said, I think the first thing I remember her saying was, her said something about why
When
is it
looking
run
like a mom.
web page just opening? Has my
Have you
PC been
been
taken
hacked?
over?
I do
Who's
think
watching
that
us
it
on the
bordered
side?
on disrespect, whether or not you're like she was disrespectful, and
She
that's
was
something that
disrespectful.
her
When
parents
Josiah said,
should
"You
have
look just
called.
like your mother," she's like, "I'll grow out of it," or something like that. That was the first thing. He let it go.
Kiki.
And then the second thing was they were sitting somewhere. I don't remember exactly what she said, but something about her mother not being good enough and being the reason why, or just something like, how can you be attracted to this woman? Like,
Who made it all fall apart. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the girl didn't know
my
better, but
problems with my mother are my problems with your mother are my problems with your mother. Don't give
Yeah,
in.
don't get involved.
And you
Yeah.
shouldn't allow your child to get involved. So I think he could have been firmer as a parent and had her back a little bit more.
okay. Any more themes? Any other thoughts?
No, just still on the co-parenting thing. I also think that there's a cultural difference. And when it comes to how people raise their kids, we're Africans. We were
Yeah.
all African teenagers at a point in our lives. I don't think any of us would have dared to speak about our moms this way, no matter what they did. And it's just because of how we were raised. And so I don't know, some of them might be cultural. It's just they allow a lot of things.
Sure.
We don't allow that. So it's a cultural shock to read a
Right.
teenager talking
Yeah.
about her mother that way because no matter how you feel, you don't say it like that or at all.
Yeah.
So it's like very much like, ma'am, what
Wait
are you
a
doing? They'll beat you.
They'll beat you, exactly. They'll beat you.
They'll put their
Someone
differences aside and get together and discipline you.
Together. They will come together as
someone
a team,
who
and you are the enemy now.
exactly. Yeah, I feel like that happened a lot. Like your parents would be upset with each other. You know that there's something going on, and then you try to take sides, and in the end, you will be the one that's in trouble because
Third
why are you
person.
acting this way?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh yeah, I've been
And
told.
really, I think that's how it should be, especially
Yeah,
when the
Yeah.
child is older, when they're older, sure, there's more nuance to
Even
that.
this,
But when
these
they're younger,
days, my parents were bickering up, trying to take somebody's side. Hey, stay out of married people's affairs. Hey, okay, oh, this is how we show love. Is that how you show love?
Exactly.
Do your
Oh my
thing.
God.
Exactly.
This is how
Stay in
you
your
show your
corner.
love. Me, I'm going to my
Yeah.
corner.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about the theme of mental health.
That's a
I
big one.
think I think that a lot, especially in our culture, and I think that's also similar in African American culture as well. It's not recognized. Postpartum depression is one of the big ones that people barely talk about. And for Yaz, it went beyond postpartum depression. She had lost her baby as well, and so that factors in. But a lot of African women are like, oh, this is normal. First, I remember someone telling me one time that miscarriages are normal. It happens. Don't worry, the next one will come. And they expect you to bounce back immediately. And I thought that's such a weird thing to say to someone that has just had a miscarriage. What do you mean? First of all, everybody's like, okay, hurry up and have kids. And then they won't tell you that as they're telling you to hurry up and
There's a
have kids,
potential for
there's
this.
a potential for the miscarriages, postpartum depression, all of these things. They say none of that. And then when someone does experience it, then it's like, oh, it's normal. Let's go. But
Like,
that's
no
not
one told me
how
that.
exactly. It doesn't work that way. So I think a lot of that is overlooked. And if anybody ever doesn't have, I wouldn't even say doesn't have the resilience, like if anybody just lingers in their grief just a little longer than they
Too
think
long.
is normal, then it becomes a big thing. Why are you acting, why are you lazy, why are you, it just becomes a thing. And I feel like Yasmin, yeah, she went through that. And you know, another thing that came to my mind, she already had 2 kids and she had miscarried one. Someone will tell
That's the
you,
you're not allowed
someone,
to cry about
yeah,
that.
yeah, someone will tell
Yeah.
you, but you already
They
have
have
children. What
to.
about those who don't have children? You know, like people expect you to grieve in a certain way that I feel like, yeah, it's sad, but she was able to eventually get to a point where she felt like, okay, I kind of recognize myself now. But I feel like these are things that we should talk about so people don't feel so alone in their grief that they are divorcing their partners over, yeah, that.
Yeah, in a hot moment. Yeah, I
Exactly.
agree. I really like the mental health representation here, especially among Black people, among Black men, which was a big deal because
Mhm.
Josiah went to therapy. I feel like we're probably getting to a point where it should be so normalized that people just have therapists. Like everybody should just speak to somebody. We're all mad, but like let's all try and manage it small, small, and acknowledge it and manage it. And like what you're saying about postpartum depression is that I don't even know how to explain it, but nobody actually tells you about it. In fact, when I had my first child, I think within the first week or so when I was my mom's, the only reference that my mother made to it was like, oh, when I have kids, sometimes I feel a little sad and like asking why I'm a Bobby, but so if you feel that way, just let me know and that it will be okay. So that was the only mention at all of
But
any
she did
potential.
mention it. I love that.
Yes, she did. She said sometimes that happens to her. So if I feel that way, I should let her know that she's at home. And she was like very on hands-on every morning. She has my breakfast, on the tray in front of me. She takes the baby away. She was just trying so hard that I won't go that way. And I ended up, yes, feeling depressed, but that's not her fault. She did what she could. Um, but that was like just almost like a random one day mention of it. But I think that if I had taken her up on it and said, yes, I'm feeling this way and that way, maybe it would have become a conversation. But that's just not how I've grown up. So I was just like, okay, I'll remember that. And then when I felt that way, I called my sister and I cried and I just cried to my husband, and I was miserable for a good long time until eventually I kind of managed to come out of it. I talked to people, I prayed, I cried, I did a lot of things, but it took maybe 4 to 5 months, and then eventually I was like, okay, I think there's some light at the end of the tunnel. But this is not something that I was really prepared for going into pregnancy. In fact, a lot of pregnancy things, nobody tells you anything. But the mental health part, it's not at all something that you're prepared for. And I've also realized that it happens in menopause. I didn't know that that was a thing to expect at all in menopause. I thought it was just no more period. But it has so much more than that. There's just a lot of things that we don't prepare women for or discuss. And then we're almost turning around and punishing them for not knowing how to figure it out and just doing the best with what they have. So yeah, sometimes somebody will want to drown their child. They're just having a very difficult time. They're not a wicked person, they're not a witch. They just need support and help to get through this period. And because we don't discuss it, everybody's looking at you with mystery, like, hey, what's going on? Like, so maybe some people will divorce their husbands in a rage of postpartum depression. And it is what it is. And maybe the husbands have to not take it so personally and come back when she changes their mind. And yeah,
well,
again.
I do think I'm one of those people that would, because I haven't had children. Because funny enough that you're mentioning postpartum depression, because the entire time I'm reading this book, it doesn't even cross my mind that she's experiencing
there you go.
depression. I just think she's depressed because she's lost her child.
Lost her baby, yeah.
But the words postpartum depression never crossed my mind. It wasn't, perhaps because she didn't have the baby with her. And so it's almost like if you don't understand that, or as somebody who hasn't had a baby, or doesn't ever think about that world, I don't make that connection. So
that connection, yeah.
For me in the beginning, because they were being quite cryptic about what happened in the beginning. It wasn't, baby, it's like dropping hints here and there. I'm trying to remember how exactly I felt, but I think I must have felt, impatient at her to be like, why was she depressed? Like, I mean, come on, like one of those, like, until I learned the circumstances of the loss and how it happened. Again, not even making the linkage to postpartum depression, but understanding that she felt guilty because it would have otherwise been a viable baby if she hadn't made a mistake. And so I think that's where the guilt comes from. So it's not like, okay, well, this is God's will or whoever's will, and the baby is just born stillbirth. But actually, if you hadn't worked late, tripped because you weren't looking where you were going, done all those things and actually fallen on your belly, you could have even braced yourself with your hands so that your belly doesn't have the impact. Like, I think it was a trauma of that. It's just like I essentially unwittingly killed my own baby. So I always thought that depressing, that was what was making her depressed, forgetting that actually she had been pregnant and hormones the whole time.
A good long time enough.
Yeah,
the hormones
and that
were
was all
going crazy.
part of it as well. So good point, you guys. Like the things you don't think about.
Interesting you say that, because I also didn't think of postpartum depression as someone who's my mother.
The party. What again?
But not because of that, because of how I suppose how it was framed in the book. Her sadness in the book, and maybe she also didn't realize it was postpartum depression because of postpartum, but how it was framed in the book is she was blaming herself for the loss, and she wanted a baby so bad. And part of the reason for the marriage breakdown was because she wanted a baby, and Josiah didn't want a baby because the doctor said, like, you could die if you had a baby. Is that miscommunication or whatever? So didn't cross my mind. And crazy. Perhaps the postpartum was making her want more babies. I don't know.
Yeah. And also, you shouldn't want a baby again after this.
There's something different about experiencing postpartum depression with having your child, and then having to go through a CS after a traumatic fall, and then going home without your baby, and then having a postpartum depression. It's like the whole cascade of multiple things just really is enough to push anybody over the edge, to be honest. Yeah. And I like that she was
a little bit
truthful.
impatient with her in the beginning. I'm like,
I told her, I was like, listen, get over it.
Like, get it,
Get up.
get it
Wash your
together.
face.
What
I
do you
like
mean
that
you want
she-
another
Like,
baby?
there are women that lose babies, so you're not okay.
Sorry, uncle.
So callous, right?
Yeah.
we
And
the
a lot
problem.
of people are callous that way without realizing it. Like you said, you
Yeah.
don't even realize it. And then you say something and somebody just goes and thinks about it forever. And then yeah. I like that she was truthful with herself. She was like, I'm either going to off myself or off this marriage. Like I can only fight for one thing right now, and it's
One
going to
thing
be
yeah.
my life and my kids. And so like I have to like I like that she was truthful with herself. Some people try to do it all together and end up losing all of them. And so I feel like she was in that moment, she was strong enough to decide that I'm choosing one of these things to work on. So yeah. Maybe she should have said separation, but like I feel like
I feel
divorce
like
was a
divorce
little
is so fine now. Like
Exactly.
Josiah
So
seems like
if
he
I
was
am
so obsessed with
Josiah,
her.
when
Yeah.
Josiah was,
Am I dispensable?
maybe I'm
Who was
getting
this?
ahead of the discussion, but when Josiah had, it was just one chapter of him having reservations. I wanted more of that because I'm not going to trust you again.
Yeah,
It's
what you
life.
did to me was
Like
not nice.
things would happen. We would lose people we love, and then what? You're leaving me again? I can't handle this.
Yeah. But just to
So
jump back to the therapy thing, do we feel that the impact of therapy, how it was discussed in the book, especially Josiah, the impact of therapy on Josiah, the impact of therapy on Seam, if that was realistic? Because I don't know how many sessions just Josiah ended up going for in therapy, but I feel like his recovery, his change, like is that realistic portrayal of what therapy can do for somebody?
I think
It
it
was
depends
magical.
on who
Yeah.
I think it because especially because Yasmin talked about the fact that she didn't find the right fit right away, right? I think she had like 2 or 3 therapists before she found the right one. I remember the first time I tried therapy, the therapist was like, I think she had just finished therapy school.
Therapy
Can't remember
school.
what the school is. But like I could not relate to having a conversation with this young woman. I was like, there's no way, So I feel like it depends on finding the fit, like a good fit. I feel like for younger people, maybe it's easier. I don't know what the data is behind that, but for Kasim, I feel like it's easier because most people have they have hindsight. They are older than you. They've seen other kids, that kind of thing. But with adults, I feel like it might be a bit trickier because I'm not going to talk to a child about
who really needed therapy? Deja. And she was the one person who didn't get it.
Yes.
You're watching your daughter lash out. You are hearing her say all of these things, and you're just
skip school for TikTok.
She wants to do hair.
Deja needed therapy. I think the whole family.
more than him, actually.
Yeah. So I guess
More than
maybe the
Kasim,
impact,
actually. Yeah, you're right.
it can be impactful if you find the right one. And Musa was probably the right one for Josiah. And so
Josiah,
I was wondering how realistic that is because there's people in
would have
therapy
been
for years.
disastrous if he had found the wrong person. Because already he didn't believe in therapy. He didn't think it would make any difference for him. So if he had gone to someone that was not the right fit at the beginning, it would have taken a lot for him to say, okay, let me try somebody else.
He'd have never gone back. Yeah, interesting. Okay, I wanted to talk about the theme of second chances. And if we think that, so I have a few chapters left in the book. So I'm not quite sure if they do get back together. You guys can spoil it for me.
Maybe they do.
They get back together. Surprise, plot twist.
I mean, last I left them, they were in bed together. When I left them in chapter 38 or whatever, they were in bed, or 35 where they were in bed together. Again. But I found, so do we believe in second chances, especially within this dynamic? Because honestly, I was rooting for them not to get back together. I was rooting for them not to get back together because one of what they did to who was Josiah's rebound?
Vashti.
Vashti.
The most hated woman on Book Talk during the
I don't
trial.
know why.
Vashti.
She did nothing. She did
was
nothing
the
wrong.
MVP
Yeah,
in
she's
the
a home
entire
wrecker.
community.
Why is she here taking
The
the
home was
limelight?
wrecked.
Two people that have been divorced for 2 years.
For 2 years.
Honestly, I feel like
Another
Vashti
reason,
was-
again, my Josiah hates continuous.
I dislike
Vashti,
Yasmin.
by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I dislike Yasmin for feeling entitled to Josiah when she
True.
left him.
She chatted
He
him
also
away
felt
and then wants to pick him
entitled to
back
her
up.
when she was with Mark.
No, but you left him. You discarded him, and this is a husband, till the wheels fall off. You know what I mean?
I know. Meanwhile, the wheels didn't fall off, cry. You ran away.
Honestly, if I were Josiah, I would never trust Yasmin as I live and breathe. Because this woman,
What though?
something
do
small
feel
can
like-
give you mental health. Like, how can I trust someone like that? I can't.
Then the next marriage, there has to be a clause that she's
I don't
not
even
allowed.
remember. I don't think they got
No,
married,
and not
right?
compete.
They got he
No
proposed
divorce
in the
clause.
very
No, he
end.
proposed. I
Like,
think
they
that
were
in
like,
the
oh my
other
God,
books,
to
they
see.
didn't get married. They just like were
Yeah,
together.
I
I
think
can't
they're
remember.
married again.
Oh,
I
they got
think they're
married
But
again.
he
Yeah.
proposed
But
in
do we
the
believe?
end. Yeah.
Do we think that because I was just like the way that she discarded that marriage and the way that they were moving. I'm just like, I wanted them at the end to just stay.
Separated.
Am
And
I
I don't
wicked?
even
Don't
think
I
she
love love?
was-
I
No,
don't know.
I don't
actually,
think
I'm
she
with
was
you. I mean, I knew
like
that we're
remorseful.
going to
Is
end
it
up.
just me? She did. I
That's
don't
what-
feel like she didn't beg him enough. Like she didn't. Yeah, I wanted her to not grovel because women
I
don't
actually wanted
grovel.
her to grovel.
Oh no, that's
He's
a
a black
man's
man.
job.
It's fine. It's fine. And he
man's
did
job.
start it. She started it, so he's
Yes.
not. It's fine if he grovels.
That's
And-
hilarious.
But this woman, like, why are you okay talking to your friends? And I know
Okay.
sometimes it's easier.
Yeah, go on.
Husband, you don't want to talk to your husband about what's going on, like your depression and everything. And the first thing you say is,
Yeah.
of course, divorce.
No,
That's
but at that time, she didn't have these friends though. They were her friends after the divorce.
After the divorce, that's
she
true.
didn't have anybody to talk to.
But I think what she did to Josiah was quite wicked. To be honest.
Agreed.
Because
I do have a
yes,
question.
you were going through something, and
But
her
he
load
too.
was 1,000 times heavier than his. I was
Yeah.
happy to see. But he was also going
But
through
why? Why is her load heavier than his?
because of the
She
hormones.
carried the baby.
Her
Hormonal
body and her
Hello?
mind changes.
She was cut.
I
To
take
bring
it
the
back.
baby
and the
out.
hormonal imbalance for postpartum depression can only happen to the woman. Really.
No, but not just that. This woman was physically cut.
I'm with you. Like her load was
Like,
just like
recovery
it's
is
not even
insane.
comparable. Yeah, 100%. The dad forms the emotional connection when the baby's out, but the woman
Yeah.
forms the emotional connection from the beginning. I
Day
think.
one.
Yeah.
I'm not a mother. Disclaimer.
We don't know, but we assume.
So he was also going through something, the loss of his
The
son,
baby.
the loss of, I mean, seeing the woman go through that, seeing what it did to the woman, and
The breakdown
not
of the
even I wanted
business.
a separation. I want a divorce. That was just so final.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll
at
never
that
trust a
point.
woman like that. Josiah
I
deserves.
Also,
deserves
shouldn't he
back.
also, as the man, and or I guess maybe he also didn't have the understanding, but I would have thought that he would treat her like as a almost like a psychiatric case. Look, I know you're going through it. You don't know what you mean. No, you. I hear what you're saying about
We'll
divorce.
discuss this
Ask me again
later
in a
on.
year. Yeah,
Yes.
I
but
will live
she's
in this other room
quite-
and leave you alone.
Yeah.
Or
But,
I'll
like,
move
let's
out
take a
for like
year.
a few
I'll
months.
move out.
You know?
I'll
Yeah.
give help. Let's separate rather than let's
Yeah.
divorce.
I think he
You
could
know?
have fought for his marriage more. Fair enough, he too was going through things. But he could have decided, like, don't agree to a divorce from a woman that is so like hormonal and emotional and suffering
Clearly
so
not
much.
well.
Yeah.
And I think also that they both clearly they both grieved very differently. He was very much let me get up and moving and everything will sort itself out, and she couldn't bring herself to get up at all. So I feel like that disparity in how they grieved was also a big thing, because if they were both very much okay, let's move on, let's do this, almost like that book Baking Cakes in Kigali, when they both
Right.
lost their daughter and they didn't talk about it, but they were both up and moving and doing. So it was like,
They
okay,
had
we grieve.
grandchildren to raise, Charlie.
Yes. So they were both
But they
like,
had a restaurant to save. If Josiah had sunk the
yes,
abyss,
The
they would have
business would
ended
have
up
would have
gone.
hours.
The
gone
kids would have
Somebody
gone.
had to step up. And when you see partner sinking, you don't join them
See
there.
how they'll pay for their
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For their Range
Like the
Rover,
private school I
That
sent us
also was
to.
a big thing.
Harrington's, whatever school that they attend, private school.
Because
I
she
think
felt
she
like,
did the vows
why are
here.
you not grieving at all? She didn't realize that he was also grieving by
In his
moving,
own
like,
way.
but she
And
felt
being the
like, why are you
stronger
not
one for
grieving? Like,
you.
is it only me? And then
Yeah.
he also felt like, why
Yeah.
are you wallowing? So it was like
Grieving too much.
everybody had like an
Yeah.
opposite feeling about the way that the partner was grieving. So yeah.
But how do we feel about how they use the other characters in their leap back towards each other? Like Khadija? No, what's her name, you guys?
Vashti.
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 Where's Khadija coming from?
I'm shocked.
But I don't think they used them, did they? They thought they
I
were ready to
think-
move on. It's
Vashti,
been 2 years.
Mark,
I think
you
I'm
see, that's why
already.
I don't like, that's why I didn't like Yasmin, because her dating Mark, calling him back, kissing him was in direct retaliation to her husband,
Yes, for
genuinely
her.
trying
So
to move on.
But for
That
her,
is
she
true.
thought if he's been able to move on, maybe I also can. I don't think it was like, oh,
Yasmin
let me
is not
make him
innocent,
jealous.
so
You are a Yasmin apologist. No, you have to, she was not.
Maybe,
Apologies.
maybe she felt that because she was so butthurt because Josiah had moved on, she felt like, you know what, let me get under someone else and I can move
maybe it will help.
Sleep with them.
She didn't know.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
didn't,
she
but
didn't
she
sleep with
thought
him.
maybe like
But-
if my mind is preoccupied with someone else, I will get over him.
Yeah.
But Josiah slept
Yeah.
with Vashti. I don't know if I can forgive Josiah for that.
Exactly.
Yes, it's been 2 years since we were married, but you should have been celibate
don't-
waiting for me.
No.
Excuse
First of
me,
all, Josiah
ma'am.
should not have even
Now
gotten
you are
back
being
with
the
Yasmin.
Yasmin
Why did you
apologist.
guys say
It's a
Vashti
hill
was
I'll die
hated?
on.
Why is
He
Vashti
should have
hated?
ended up with Vashti. Vashti cares more about him
No,
and his
Because in the end, they drive Vashti away from
Away
Atlanta.
from the entire
They
school.
go to Charlotte.
She opted to go.
They drove her
opted
away,
to
my dear.
go.
You're allowed. Like, I
They
can't say.
transferred her.
And is
or
there
they
anybody like
transferred.
again? Elise will probably kill me, but I don't even think they loved. I didn't feel the love between the two of them, to be very honest.
Who?
Yasmin and
Josiah
Josiah.
and
It's all
Yasmin.
about
Really?
sex. Like, didn't feel it. It seemed so shallow and
Like,
Shallow in what
was there
way?
a point where they were thinking about a memory that was like so dear to both of them and holding on to?
yeah, the Thanksgiving.
was,
All it
though.
was.
Remember Thanksgiving when he put her in the cart and they were riding, and then
And there were more things to, like, when they were in their old apartment
like,
and they didn't have any money.
Any money.
Yeah,
And
I
when they were
remember
in
that one.
uni, she made him chicken soup when he
yeah,
was
the
ill.
worst chicken soup ever.
I
Yeah.
did not feel it.
I do think they were in love.
The monkey gave me more emotional feels. Josiah and
Fine.
Yasmin did. Because
Okay, I need to write this
anytime
down, Jessie.
Josiah
This
looks
is
at
going on social
Josiah-
media.
Josiah looks at Yasmin.
Punch
All
the
Josiah
monkey.
can see is not the woman he loves so much. The woman is just a hot
The woman he won't eat.
like, you've been married for 10 years. You have 2 kids. Like, there should be more to her than.
Isn't that the more to her? Isn't that the reason why he's still
Is the
not able to
sex.
move on? No, that's why he can't move on. Because he's still thinking
But-
about his wife. Not just the sex, but like
I know that, but I was told that. I wasn't shown that.
you didn't
Like,
feel
I wanted
it.
to
Okay.
feel it.
You wanted
They kept
yeah.
telling me, Josiah would say, like, till I will love you forever till the wheels fall off. But I didn't see that in their interactions. I didn't see that. They were just saying it. And when they meet, it's the physical attraction immediately. I feel like there are more important things.
Like what?
The history, the
Like
shared
what?
kids.
Give us
And
example.
then the attract. Those are the things that I think form the attraction. Well, for me, because attraction is emotional and mental for me, right?
Of course.
And it just seemed very surface level that he's so hot. Look at his body. She's so like her boobs are so pecky. And what if they're not? Like what if after
Okay.
they're no longer
Remember
And
Do you
then
remember
what?
that she
You should
wanted to
still be
keep?
attracted to her.
You remember that she wanted to keep something. She gets his like $1,000 sneakers or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's that. Do you remember that she was very happy that Otis got to stay with what's his name, with Josiah, because she felt like he would be lonely, and so Otis keeping him company is a good thing. I feel like
Yeah,
those
at
things
least
are
like
Was
he
very
left
mad.
him
She was
something.
butthead because
thoughtful
Otis was
thing.
keeping her awake in the night.
No,
No,
she
I mean,
wanted
but
Otis to
then she
be.
did
To
mention that
call
she was happy
Josiah,
about it
come and take
because
your dogs.
she felt like
I'm gonna collect
Otis
your
would
dog.
keep
He's
him
making noise.
Fighting for you.
you know? So I feel
Did
like
I
there are
think they
elements
were
of,
in love? I do think they were.
yeah,
I do think they were.
yeah,
And some people are like
I
physical
didn't.
touch is a form of love. Physical touch is how some people express love.
express,
And so
yeah.
perhaps their love language was physical touch, which is completely fine. Um, what I do think was, I mean, it makes me question, especially with Yasmin being able to, I mean, I guess we've already said she wasn't in the right frame of mind, but like with her being able to let go of such a solid foundation on a whim, makes me question, yeah, was she really in love? Because
Was she
what
really
if
in love?
he had actually moved on? What if they never got that
He
chance?
tried. He
If,
tried. I
yeah,
actually
like
have a
he could have
comment here.
lost him
So when you're
forever.
done, I'll read it.
And it
Okay.
would have been realistic for me if he had actually moved on, right?
Yeah.
And
And
then
had
things
other kids.
reminded, no, and then like these
Oh
other
my
emotional
God, you're
triggers
so
sort of
evil.
reminded
Why more
him of
children?
her. Because it's you will move on. Like it's you're not destined to have like one true. I mean, I know it's a romance book, and I'm probably you know what? I'll take
Too
it for
cynical for romance books.
The only reason why it took them longer for them to move on is because they had that restaurant. Like they had that proximity.
The
And I think it's
kids,
hard
the
to
Yeah.
move on
restaurant, yeah.
when there's proximity. Like he literally lived right next door. He had to see her all the time. The kids, so it was hard for them to separate. But in any other circumstance, he could have moved to a different part of the city, picked up the kids, and only dropped them off on the weekends. Like that
Yeah.
would have,
They'll
if
only
she
ever say
wasn't,
hi to each other at the door.
yeah, and if she never saw his relationship with Vashti, like he could have made that work. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things. She got lucky because it's a romance novel.
Yeah. We just read, Nanajo and I just read a book last week where it's quite similar as well, A Second Chance. And they both moved on, and did they? I think they did. Yeah, they
They
hated,
weren't even divorced. They were separated,
they
but
were
it was
separated.
acrimonious. Like she hated him.
She hated him. And it was just like a bunch of like small, the things that actually really break up marriages, you know, like someone not being supportive enough. And then over
Yeah.
time it
Saying
becomes,
working too hard. I'm raising the kids on my own. You're never there.
yeah. In
I'm
the
doing this by
end,
myself.
they end up together. But I like how that book did it in the sense that she moved on and she was happy. She was happy with her decision to separate. He also moved on. He was with someone else, I think. He was happy.
Started dating somebody, yeah.
But eventually, some things happened and they realized that, you know what, when you have history with someone and you're willing to change, whatever, like it's fine.
You can make it
You
work.
all move on. Like Josiah, Yasmin, Vashti would have given you
Josiah moved on with Vashti for a little bit, okay? A couple months.
Like 1 week. They
Yeah.
didn't
the
allow
man
him to
could
move on
not.
a lot.
She
couple
slept with him
months.
once.
Jackson was like
She
this the
slept
whole
with him
time.
once. And
Yeah.
and I
It's even
told her, he's like,
unrealistic
no.
What
as
do
a
you mean
man.
no?
Like it's so unrealistic to me that your wife has divorced you for 2 years and you have a beautiful woman and she wants to be in a relationship with you. You're like, no, you haven't touched any other
You
woman.
know, he said, I'm learning. Okay, look, he was in love with his wife, y'all.
Najwa, read what
Tell
he
that my
And I
head
think
is in
it's how
it's
they
in the
broke up.
clouds.
There was clearly something like it wasn't like, oh, we was broken down beyond reasonable whatever reconciliation. He knew that there was hope there, that it was just how they broke up. It was just how they broke up. And I have a comment from one of our watchers. He says that no matter how much the husband thinks her decision making is born from emotions and hormones, that's not something you can tell her as an adult woman with agency who believes she's in her right mind in denying her a divorce and fighting for the marriage. All you can do is
I
hope
agree.
that time will bring her back and that time doesn't bring insurmountable damage to their relationship. So yeah, I guess fair enough.
Completely
Like,
agree.
True.
Yeah.
mhm.
You can't build or you can't fight for a relationship alone. It has to
Yeah,
be
it has both of
a
you.
two-way
That's
street.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
Josiah.
What are the themes, you guys?
yeah.
Is there any other?
I think we have time for just one more theme. We don't even have time for one more theme, but you know what? We'll
Time is
allow.
going. But let's do one more thing if it exists.
Oh wait, but you talked about we talked about the second chance thing. Yeah.
We've done co-parenting, grief, and mental health, second chances. What else?
Postpartum, we've talked about. Okay, well, that's mental health.
Yeah. And these children that we already talked about Deja and her what do we need for therapy.
Maybe friendship, but there wasn't so much there. Was there?
Oh, her and her two friends.
The theme.
Yeah.
Is that I think Soledad's daughters?
No, just even Yasmin and Soledad and
her dad and Hendrix. Right.
Yeah. I feel like the friendship is more developed in her other books, but at least I feel like she feels grounded having the support of these women, and that's always a good thing. Like female friendships are always a good thing.
Indeed. And I think it helped her even like decide that this is what she wanted to do again with Josiah, because she had that grounded relationship with them, and she could bounce ideas off them and decide that actually, I want to go back to him, and that makes sense.
And I like that they were not lying to her. They were like, look, this man is moving on, especially Hendrix. Honestly, like I like Hendrix. Like she was very much like, he's with this other girl. Like, so you have to decide whether this is something worth you going for or you're just leaving him to go to this other girl. So I like that reality.
I can't wait for Soledad to divorce Edward. And I'll read
yeah, you should read that book.
We don't like you. Who are you?
You should read that book. Excellent.
It's so dramatic, honestly.
I know, right?
Because why is Edward trash?
And she keeps defending him. But anyway, for another
that's
day.
a husband.
I think in terms of the friendship thing as well, it was interesting, and she touched on this very, lightly, but the idea that perhaps when you enter a different season of life, you might need a completely different set of friends, because it's almost like after what she went through, I don't know who her old friends were, but it's like she couldn't go with them into this new version of
season.
Needed friends and to almost start from scratch with friendship. And that's what helped her heal. So I think that's an interesting topic in friendship, where I think some women might hold on to relationships because we've known each other since childhood, or, I've known them since this, but it's just like, you might have, but are you still compatible? Are you, like all of that comes with, growing with your friends, or not at all, basically, so that was interesting. Not fully fleshed out, but she teased it a bit.
A very rare privilege to have a friend that can go through all of your life seasons with you. It's very rare. Very few people find that. So, yeah.
Also, I just remembered why Josiah is a better human than Yasmin.
We're hating on Josiah.
I hate more 11. Make up your mind.
Let's go.
He hates men, so she hates him indirectly, but
Josiah lost his aunt, who is practically his mother, around the same time. They lost the baby, so he was also going through something deeply emotional and deeply moving. He never asked for a divorce, not even a separation.
Oh my God. Not asking for a divorce is not tantamount to you being a better human being. I don't think he was a bad person, but he was just acting strange. But also Baird was really close to Yasmin as well, so she felt like she had two losses. So there's also that.
I just thought about something with regards to all the sex. What if also it could also be that she wasn't, they say women have a second wave, where when you're like towards your 40s, your sex drive is like suddenly through the roof and
off the charts.
Of the charts. Like earlier on, I think, and before we started, I was asking how old was what's her name, Yasmin, because I think her and her friends are in their late 30s, almost 40s. And so it's like March is a little older than like not the romance novels I normally see. And I guess maybe her sex drive was just back. She has reached phase 2 of her sex drive, and so maybe she was seeing him as newly attractive because she was just in that space in her life, because it was a lot. And it was like,
Also,
ma'am,
plus
you've
2
seen this
years.
man naked since he was a
Was
skinny
stressing me.
undergrad.
I'm feeling the stress.
But it had been 2
I think she was
years.
having a crush all over again. It was like
2
falling in
years,
love
exactly.
again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were back to that teenage love again because they were doing it in the car. They couldn't wait to go home. They're supposed to be at their parent-teacher conference and he has his hand there. It's like, are you children? Like, relax.
Also, I think the fact that they were hiding it was also part of the appeal
Makes it
because I feel like
exciting.
when people are having legit sex, it's like, oh,
boring.
but when they're hiding it, that's when they want to do it everywhere. That's
that kink,
fair
right?
enough.
yeah.
But that's a good point.
Yeah.
Because she did say, I think she did lose her libido for a very long time. So she was
must have.
rediscovering her libido. She even says it in the book. And it's like now
Right.
she's just so horny, I guess.
XXX. It was
Okay.
like, you're waking up. She was literally having wet dreams. Yasmin, what is this?
Okay,
But
so before we rate the book, what I'm going to give a statement and then everyone can like just fill in the blank. One thing that I'm taking from this book into my own life is XYZ.
That's a good one.
Oh, I like it. We should use it every time.
I know we should add it to our Poka Reads for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, I can go first. One thing I'm
Mhm.
taking from this book into my own life is that our experiences are all valid. Everybody experiences things differently, and that's okay. I might not know what someone's experience is, and that doesn't give me the leeway to treat them differently or treat them badly. Like the same way you guys said in the beginning, you're like, why is she like, get up and start moving. And then later you realize that, oh, this is what's going on. So everybody deserves that kind of grace and everybody's story is valid. So treat people with grace. So that's what I'm taking from this, to treat people with grace, whether I know their story or not. So yeah.
That's a good one. What I'm taking out of this book, one thing I'm taking from this book into my real life is, I guess, talk about the things that are bothering me instead of keeping them bottled up and ending up doing something ridiculous. So always kind of talk through even the craziest thoughts. And yeah, prioritize therapy for sure.
Yeah.
I would say one thing I want to take away from this book and carry into my life, maybe it's okay to fall apart, to fall back together again. Yeah, I think that because I would say that Yasmin hit rock bottom, that she completely had a meltdown and just, lost herself. But she was able to come out of that like a phoenix, rise out of the ashes of her depression. So sometimes it's okay, fall apart. You can always fall back together again as a brand new you.
Yeah. What can I learn?
Feel like she's going to say men are trash.
Men are always trash.
That's a general rule.
But on top of that,
however, I think that and this is something that I'm sort of similar to Yasmin in this way. When I'm emotional and I'm in my feels, I tend to make definitive statements that when I get out of, I don't particularly feel attached. Like that was a different version of myself.
Who is that, Jessie? I don't know her.
I did not say that.
A day in my life. So imagine if Josiah had actually moved on and actually fell out of love with her. And then she would have just lost, the love of her life because of making a definitive statement. So always take it one step at a time. Start with a separation. I think no matter how hard it's going or how bad it's going in your marriage, always start with a separation, unless like the person is just a horrible person, really, and whatever. Because yeah, definitive statements can come back and bite you in the ass.
especially in the heat of passion, when you're so emotional. Yeah, like don't make final decisions when you're like super emotional, essentially.
Yeah, super happy, super sad.
Yeah, all of it, exactly. Positive and negative, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so now let's do the Poka reading. I think you'll have to pull that up because I cannot remember our algorithm for rating the books. I know we rate.
Oh no, let's do it generally.
Yeah, we can just do the
Okay,
stars.
yeah, a general rating. Okay, so who wants to go first? What would you rate
But
this
did we
book?
Five
discuss her
stars.
writing, or are we okay?
Say again, her what?
Her writing
Her
style.
writing style.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, we did not. Let's talk about that
Yeah.
briefly, and then I like POVs, so as you already know, this was not too many people's POVs. I like a book that has POVs, so this was good. Yeah. I like the writing
This was
style.
just enough. I think 2 is
Yeah.
good.
3, I think you can make 3 work.
You guys will never agree on that, so stop.
I know, right? Okay.
What rating did you give Elise?
No, we haven't given
Oh,
ratings
right.
yet. So we're
So
just
talk
doing
about the
the
writing.
writing style first.
I wanted to maybe dig into that. I don't know much. I think, yeah, it was good writing. I liked how, is she descriptive or just her way of kind of like describing things or setting the scene or setting the emotions. I felt like there was a lot of layers that she put in place in order to like give us a rounded feeling of what was going on. And I thought that was cleverly done. Like how she layered, like I'm trying to remember specific examples of how she may have described. Anyways, but yeah, I found that that's different from I think some of the books that we've read. Sort of her writing style stood out to me in that way, is that she used sort of different ways to convey emotions and like layered ways of pushing the narrative forward. Yeah. And she writes sort of intimacy and sex well, I think, because it was turning me on and
That's
Oh, bless
why
you.
you had a problem. Is that
have
what
a
the
problem.
issue was?
But I was like, what is going on here? Let me take notes. But yeah, it was good.
Anybody else?
Thoughts on writing style?
Oh, and she does well with themes that are otherwise like would make you like feel like you're reading the news, like she does well with difficult themes. She writes them nicely.
Yeah, true.
I like that
her
she writes
writing.
about adult characters. I hate reading fresh out of college romance.
And not just adults, these are adults, like almost
the
40
big
adults. I was
big
like,
adulting.
yeah,
love that.
True, yeah. I enjoy her writing as well. I think she can tone down the sex. And honestly, I feel like she's even increased the sex since she became traditionally published, because that's what the girlies seem to like. So that's what she's doing. But I do think, and that's just me. Generally, I prefer my books with a little less explicit sex. Like one time is enough. I know they had sex. Going forward, you can close the door when they enter the room. I'll get them the
one time, close the door, because if I want to be turned on, I know where to look. Not in my book. In my books, I want to read the story in my books. I take my books to go to a different world.
Did you not read the story?
You read a different world.
You had to skip some parts, really. Like, who wants to be distracted?
Yeah.
Not Josiah.
All right. Okay, so now
had the time of his life.
He did, bless him. He got Vashti. He got to slip Vashti in under the line just in time before Yasmin came back.
But she didn't do anything for him. She didn't do anything for him.
There was one time, I think when they went to Charlotte or something, and they were actually having sex for the first time, all he did was touch Yasmin. And Yasmin is orgasm. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Yasmin.
Yeah, the portrayal of orgasm.
It's been 2 years, Jessie. I feel like anybody would combust. Anybody would combust after 2 years. if you just
She's
touched
definitely in the Naja. She's definitely in that zone of an older woman needing more sex.
I'm sure.
Also,
I'm
he
sure.
knows her
Man touching
buttons.
you and
He knows her buttons. That's her husband of many years.
That's
exactly.
true. They
Exactly
It wasn't
what-
and
like, oh, let me
he's
try this or let me try
learned.
that.
yeah, he's like,
He
this
knew
the
what
works.
to
man
do.
touches with one finger, okay, and then this woman is
She's like, this is the finger that I've been waiting for.
Oh my God.
It's hilarious.
I want to see the movie. Facts.
I know.
Yeah. I hope it comes out soon.
Let's
I
make
hope
it
they do it justice.
Let's go see it in the cinema.
Yeah.
Oh
that would be
yes,
Where are
yes. We should definitely
florals?
go see it when it comes out. Where your floral?
Grab your friends.
good. Okay, so
So
now the rating. The rating.
ratings. I'm a 4.75. Just because I'm mine of 0.25 for the 6.
For too
Kennedy,
much.
come on.
Okay.
Too much
Okay.
For the
I
record, who's
know.
been getting a record of these? Because last year we struggled to find
Yes,
the
I'm recording this time.
Okay, Nanata's recording. Perfect.
Okay. Who's
Anybody
next?
else?
Mm,
As a romance book,
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it a 4-star rating.
Woohoo!
Yeah, looking at it as a romance book, and that's how it's supposed to be. I think it checks all the boxes of a
Yeah.
romance book. As a
Okay.
literary fiction, perhaps 3.5, but yeah.
But she's not writing literary fiction.
True.
Anyway.
So as a romance book, 4 stars.
Fair. What about you, Adele?
but yeah, I'm leaning towards the low 4s as well. Yeah, maybe a 4.2 is fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I do
This
think
is a
I'll
5.6.
do actually I can feel like there were things that like Deja needed therapy. Like not Deja, not Lupe, right?
It's Deja.
Yeah. Like I feel like there are things that could have been explored a bit more, but I love the book. So I'll do a 4.8 actually. So yeah.
Not at all, actually. She's not doing too badly. So the
At
Poka rating
all.
is 4.43.
Woohoo.
Okay.
Love it.
Great. Yeah,
Awesome.
it was
Not bad at all.
it's a good
Yeah.
start to the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was for the month of love, Valentine's Day.
You
so.
know, actually, I'll forgive the sex scenes for the month of love.
We were reading it after that, for 14th, but yeah, so it didn't seem to apply, but yeah, awesome.
Right. Well, thank you for discussing this book with me. Who's choosing next? And
Yeah, I think it's Adwoa's next.
I'm next.
Mind?
I had an idea, but I think let me like finalize it and then we'll announce it. But I saw one on Instagram last week that I was like, that looks interesting. That could be. I haven't read it, so we're all going into it together. It's Ghanaian. She Ghanaian, yes, it's a Ghanaian. Elise, have you read anything by Crystal Zara Appiah?
No.
Ruthless. She wrote Ruthless. I'm not suggesting
Oh,
Ruthless.
wait, but that's an old book, no?
Yeah, so it's not her. It's not Ruthless. It's one of it's her newer book. Yeah.
Her newer. Okay, I haven't seen it yet. Okay, all right.
I have Ruthless. I never read it. I think it might be similar to Before I Let Go, actually, based on
Ruthless.
the
Also, what's the
comments.
book that you and Jessie read that she mentioned?
That's
What Alice
Leanne
forgot.
Moriarty.
Leanne
What Alice
Moriarty.
Forgot.
What Alice Forgot.
What Alice Forgot, yeah. Leanne Moriarty. She's a great writer. She wrote Big Little Things.
Oh, I've read her book. I've read
Big
one
Little
of her
Lies.
books.
Big Little Lies, yeah.
Is she African?
Later.
Oh, she's
Oh
not.
no.
Leanne is Australian. Australia.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll check it out at some point. But yeah, excited to see what you decide on for our
Yeah. Oh, I'm
next.
just realizing that the book I'm thinking of picking is actually coming out on my birthday this year. So
Oh, so it's not even
it's not
out
even
yet.
out yet. It's not even out yet. Yeah. I
What's
just thought
it
it looked
called? Let
interesting.
me place a hold for when it comes out.
Half-Life.
Guys, no,
Let me send it.
I just remembered. We
Oh,
have
we
an
have
order
Busy.
for
That's true.
for
Yeah.
Angela, you pick the next month, which is apt
Yeah,
for
we have-
Ghana month because she's Ghanaian and
Oh,
yeah.
wait,
Yeah.
so yeah, right. We confirmed her for.
We just need to
End
confirm
of
the
March.
date and then get to her. Get back
But
to
the
her.
date is always the
Try
last
to-
Friday of the month.
Is that what we are doing? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
we've been
And then
doing.
the
Unless
book
she's
is
not
what's
available,
the
then
book?
we'll. we'll do something else.
It's Of Women and Frogs, now called Teller of Secrets.
Right.
Oh, I have my copy. It's in the living room. Okay. I love
Okay,
that book.
so next Poka Reads is by
BC Japan.
Jessie Atuama.
Okay, amazing. Good. So read along with us, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Poka Reads. This book earned what? A 4.43, I believe, and made for a really great discussion. So many rich themes. Yeah, I enjoyed the discussion. So thanks for leading, Elise. Thanks everyone for watching to the end. Hit the like button if you're here. Share.
Download the Poka app.
Download Poka Health app, and follow us on social media. It's Poka app on all socials. And we'll see you at the next one.
Bye. Thank you.